is NDTV and you are watching NDTV Prime.
It is time for CNB Bazaar Buzz here. Thanks for joining us on a brand new episode. I'm Siddharth Vinayak Patankar and this is today's lineup. Volvo has driven in the new S60 Polestar and we drive it. The big update on Hyundai's Xcent. And it's a solo rider taking his Triumph Tiger all the way from Australia to Sweden. So let's start off then with a look at that new Hyundai Xcent. It's a massive facelift. There are lots of changes that have been brought in and it's all very intentional and based on customer feedback, says Hyundai. The whole idea is to make the car look prettier and more appealing and also load in a lot more features on the interiors to make it a little more plush. Why? Well, because the Xcent has a bit of a reputation of being a taxi, and in fact it's the old pre-facelift Xcent that will sell as the Xcent Prime only to the taxi segment, and this new one is only for individual buyers.
The subcompact sedan segment may have flagged off, but Motown is certainly getting things going in it again. After the Tata Tigor stormed in, and now we have a new Maruti Dzire that's close to launching. Hyundai has got into the act with a significant facelift of the Xcent, a car it now sees huge volumes from despite its slow start.
Now that's what you call a proper facelift. Look at it, it's wonderful to look at, and it's good that Hyundai has not just done one cosmetic change. There are many cosmetic changes together. The front grille is new, obviously it has the signature hexagonal Hyundai grille, which obviously is the top to bottom approach that the company takes. So yes, it looks like the Elantra a bit. The bonnet is new, the front bumper is new, the fog lamps are new, there are new LED DRLs, there are the headlamp cluster is new, the tail lamps are new, and the engine under that bonnet is also new. Well, there's a lot of changes in this car, and it's good to see that the manufacturer is actually giving it a proper facelift. This is actually just a sneak peek into what to expect from the new Gen Verna.
The front grille is a value addition to the Xcent and is what distinguishes it from its younger brother, the Grand i10. The wrap around the tail lamps are now more proportional, and the 15-inch diamond-cut alloy wheels too add their bit to the car's overall appearance. The facelifted Xcent gets another X factor, a revised diesel engine.
But while there are a host of changes on the outside, the biggest change is the one in the bonnet, and that's the 1.2 litre engine. That's a diesel one which we saw in the Grand i10 as well. This one churns 74 brake horsepower, and that's 2 more than what it was earlier. And there's 190 Newton meters of torque, which has remained the same. But the engine is torquier, it's fun. It's become better because that torque is available now at lower RPMs, which means you have the pushing power, rather it gives you the pulling power, and it just pulls away. That's what you enjoy doing. The clutch is extremely light, which is why you enjoy driving it in traffic conditions, and even the steering wheel as well is light, which is why maneuvering isn't a problem. And Hyundai has worked on the ride and handling of this car, and it shows with the way this one functions. It's not too stiff and it's not too soft as well, so it's pretty comfortable, rides on potholes very well.
Hyundai has been working hard on the ride and handling department, and we've seen that change from the new Elantra onwards. The Xcent benefits from this. It's not a driver's car yet, though the steering has been worked on and now doesn't feel artificially manipulated as before. There's a significant improvement in the feature list too, as the Xcent now gets a new 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system which is extremely intuitive. There's also Android Auto and Apple CarPlay connectivity options, as also Mirror Link. Other features include new fabric upholstery, automatic climate control, electrically adjustable ORVMs and steering mounted controls. Most of this is restricted to the top end though. What you don't get is a range or DTE, distance to empty, and this could have been an addition over the previous model. There's also a rear AC vent which makes life easier for the co-passengers. All variants now get dual front airbags as standard, but sadly the base trims miss out on ABS, which was offered on the previous model. But we have to say that the Xcent facelift is still a welcome change than in the subcompact sedan segment. The enhanced skid takes aims itself squarely at the individual buyer rather than fleet operators, and the pre-facelift car will continue to sell as the Xcent Prime to the taxi segment. But the battle in this segment has only just begun, as we can't wait to drive this car too.
So that is the new Hyundai Xcent. Tell us how you like it. Let's move on now and talk about a supercar experience that Oryx is promising you. So if that's something that you've always wanted to do, drive a supercar on a track, well, you can. You can go ahead and book yourself a slot from Oryx, get into a supercar and get on to the racetrack.
Driving a sports car or a supercar is the ultimate goal for an auto enthusiast. And while these cars have always been out of reach for most people, Oryx, one of India's largest and one of the world's largest car rental agencies, now brings the self-drive supercar and sports car rental model to India, but with a slight twist.
It's very aspirational for somebody to drive a super luxury car, and that's what we thought. We'll create a unique experience for the customers by offering them this experience. So we've tied up with Rally Motors, getting a few cars, also trying to get the permissions from the Buzz International Circuit so that we can make these cars available. For that date, it will be a limited experience in a controlled environment.
The supercar self-drive experiences will be available on Oryx's My Choice portal and will be auctioned off to the highest bidder. With cars like the Porsche 911 and the Audi R8 available in these programs, buyers will be able to experience them at the Buzz International Circuit for a 30-minute time slot in a safe and controlled environment while being guided by experts. And to top it all off, Oryx plans to donate all the proceeds from the supercar self-drive experience to charity to help aid transportation for school children in rural areas.
Track dreams from Oryx. Now it's time to take a look at the new Volvo S60 Polestar. It's the performance version of that car and looks absolutely smashing in Rebel Blue. The car is once again something that's great fun on a track, but can also be quite the monster on the regular road too. We tested it on the track in Coimbatore. King Shuk Datta drove it.
For the uninitiated, Polestar is the performance vehicle division of Volvo. While Volvo has been in India for quite some time now, it has never got one of its Polestar models to us. The 2017 S60 Polestar is finally here to correct that situation. There's no doubt that Volvo cars look good. The S60 goes up a notch though with this variant. The Rebel Blue color, the edgier bumpers, the 20-inch snowflake alloy wheel design, it all adds up to a great-looking sporty sedan. The blue Polestar badge makes an appearance at the front and rear. The biggest change in the 2017 S60 Polestar as compared to the previous model is the engine. Unlike the 2016 model that had a 3-litre V6 engine, the S60 Polestar now gets a 2-litre 4-cylinder, which makes 362 bhp and 470 Nm. It's turbocharged, and a supercharged Volvo says that there are over 260 new parts in the S60 Polestar. The air intake and the turbo have been made bigger for better performance. Volvo claims a top speed of 250 km per hour and a 0 to 100 km per hour sprint time of 4.7 seconds for the S60 Polestar.
The car impressed us with its performance and handling, and we simply cannot wait to drive it on regular roads as well. The S60 Polestar can now be yours for 52.5 lakh rupees ex-showroom Delhi. Only 1500 models will be made globally, so in case this car appeals to you, I suggest you rush to your nearest Volvo dealership now.
The diffuser at the front produces a downforce of 21 kilos, while the rear diffuser generates 33 kilos of downforce at maximum speed. Power is sent to the wheels via an 8-speed torque converter transmission, and there is a Borg-Warner AWD system as well. The interior too has been spruced up with carbon fibre and nubuck leather bits on the fascia. There is the familiar steering wheel, instrument console and the infotainment system on the S60 Polestar as on the regular S60. The car gets a variety of radar-based safety systems such as the autonomous emergency braking, adaptive cruise control, parking cameras at the front and rear, blind spot assist and much more. It also has 6 airbags as standard. The S60 Polestar has been priced surprisingly well given the car is a direct import. It's the perfect blend of sensible family sedan and track monster. Only 30 or so units will be allocated to the Indian market for starters, and we have no doubt that they will fly off the shelf before you can say Polestar.
Time for a short break here on CNB Bazaar Buzz. We come back with more. Please keep watching.